All right, so what we're going to go over in this video is how we can write the equation of a rational function given the graph, okay? It's really pretty easy to do. This won't take too long. So what I always recommend first is that students take a second to write down all the information that we can see from the picture. So here's what I see. I see there's a vertical asymptote at x equals -1. And then I see there's another vertical asymptote at x equals 2. Okay, so let's recognize that if x equals -1, the factor can be expressed as x plus 1, and the factor for x equals 2 can be expressed as x minus 2. All right, so the next thing that I notice is that there are x-intercepts. All right, so the x-intercepts are right here at -3. Okay, right there at -3, and oops. Okay, so the x-intercept is at x equals -3, and the other one looks like it's at x equals 4. So the factors for those can be expressed as x plus 3 and x minus 4. All right, so the next thing that I notice is that there's a hole in the graph, and the hole is at x equals 1, okay? So that factor can be expressed as x minus 1. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start building this function using all of the factors from the vertical asymptote, the x-intercepts, and the holes. All right, so maybe I'll come down here. So f of x is equal to. All right, well, so what we've learned is the vertical asymptotes, those factors are in the denominator, okay? So these factors are in the denominator. And what we've also learned is that the x-intercepts, these factors are in the numerator. So let's put in the numerator x plus 3 and x minus 4. Now with the holes, what we've learned is that the factors are in both the numerator and the denominator. It's that repeating factor that causes it to be a hole. So the last piece that we're going to incorporate is going to be the horizontal asymptote. And that's what I do after I get all the factors in place, okay? So when I look at this, the horizontal asymptote appears to be at y equals 1/2, okay? So when I look at my picture, it's at y equals 1/2. Well, for y equals 1/2 to be true, that's because the degrees have to be the same. Okay, if we look over our rules for the horizontal asymptote, if the degree is bigger on the top, then there's none. If the degree is bigger on the bottom, then the asymptote would be y equals 0. But if the horizontal asymptote is a fraction, then it's because the degrees are the same. And the 1/2 is the leading coefficients. All right, so these are the leading coefficients of the numerator and the denominator. Well, when I look at this, x times x times x makes the numerator x cubed. And x times x times x makes the denominator x cubed. So the degrees are already the same. So all we need to do is add the leading coefficients of 1/2, and now we have this function, okay? So this is the function, this is a possible function to represent this graph. And this, by the way, is in factored form, which is totally fine. If we wanted to put it in standard form, we could always multiply out all the factors, but I'm okay with this being in factored form. So hopefully that helps when you get to the homework. It's not too tough to write the equation. And thanks for